This Stafford success story was executed by Rick Brown, working out of the Raleigh location. This deal got closed with a whole series of sales activities, including use of cold calls, emails, game tickets, Chamber of Commerce functions, hats for the customers' guys in the field, and product literature, including the Stafford 55th anniversary brochure. In addition to all of that, Rick went out of his way to help with an issue this customer had with the tracks on his old paver, brought in a demo milling machine, and partnered closely with his factory rep. The sale enabled the customer to expand their service offerings while eliminating a $100,000 annual operating expense. Stafford got a $265,000 sale with a profit close to $44,000. To kick things off, Rick made a cold call to introduce himself and Stafford. On that first call, he learned that the company had just gotten into business. They were only 6 months old, and at the moment didn't have any requirements. Knowing there was a good chance that a new and hopefully growing company would need equipment in the future, Rick logged everything he learned into his sales automation and mapping software, and then started his campaign. Since his customer's business was so new, Rick decided to take a low-key approach to building his credibility. He stayed in touch regularly, using a variety of techniques including phone calls, face-to-face cold calls, and emails that highlighted Stafford products and services. As a side note, Rick has been quite successful in using email, including text, pictures, and diagrams, to stay in touch with customers. He finds it to be a very efficient and effective way to maintain continual communication and to keep the Stafford logo in front of the customer's eyes. In addition to the constant communication, Rick also concentrated on positioning himself and Stafford as more than just a supplier of equipment. Most notably, he did some research that was perceived by the customer to be above and beyond the call of duty. It involved making sure that a new track system could be installed on an older paver that the customer already owned and identifying a source for it. While Rick didn't benefit directly from this effort, the customer did in fact acknowledge, remember, and appreciate it. That extra work stuck in the customer's mind and was further reinforced with a series of introductions to key Stafford personnel, conversations with other satisfied Stafford customers, and a few non-business events like the ball game pictured here. After several months of developing the owner's trust, Rick went back through all his notes and pulled out two critical facts. First, they were spending in excess of $100,000 per year with subcontractors to get their milling machine work done. And second, both the owner and several of his employees had experience operating milling machines. In other words, this customer had unique skills that could be of substantial value to their customers that were unused, unappreciated, and not generating any cash flow. Given their milling machine expertise, the obvious next step was to conduct a hands-on, on-site demo to get them excited about their ability to do their own milling machine work, providing greater value to their customers, and at the same time eliminating that six-figure expense item. Given the relative sophistication of this particular customer, attention to detail was extremely important. Rick was diligent in providing thorough documentation of specifications, pricing options, warranties, etc. He got the owner enrolled in a BOMAG class, and he committed himself to orchestrating a world-class demo experience. Securing the demo machine itself and getting it transported from Charlotte to Raleigh required a lot of coordination with Stafford personnel in several different locations. Getting a highly trained operator from BOMAG to help with the demo required a lot of coordination with the factory rep. He also invested the time to be around for the entire day-and-a-half long demo. As you can see from these pictures, this was a really thorough demo. By dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, Rick reinforced his reputation with this customer as someone who would never let a detail slip through the cracks. Because of the quantity and quality of the sales activities executed throughout this sales process, closing was not so much a question of if they wanted the machine, but more of how to finance it and address the warranty considerations. Rick chased down several financing options and provided them to the customer. In addition, his close work with the factory rep enabled him to offer a full 1,000-hour warranty on a lightly used machine that only had 2 months of its original factory warranty left. The delivery of the equipment was also very straightforward. The customer was actually buying the same machine used for the demo, so confirmation of on-time shipment and a follow-up thank you letter did the trick. This is an example of a customer who learned a lot from Stafford as a result of the sales process. The customer really placed a lot of value in this transfer of knowledge and said so in a long email to Rick. He made comments like, "I'm a big fan of this type of salesmanship, and the past 48 hours gives me complete confidence in your milling machine simply because of the training and assistance I got from Stafford." He closed the note by saying how good it was to know that Stafford had these resources available and is willing to apply them to be responsive to customers. Bottom line, this customer bought because of Stafford's expertise and ability to enable him to provide additional value to his customers, and oh, by the way, eliminate $100,000 worth of subcontracting bills. So let's close with a quick look at the difference makers for this deal. It took a while, almost 6 months, so the continuous contact via phone calls and high-content emails was a major factor. The demo was also huge. In particular, having a factory expert on site for it was extremely impressive to the customer. It truly was a demo on steroids. The final factor was attention to detail. There was a lot of hard work done in the background. Chasing down new tracks for the customer's old paver, getting the right demo machine with the right specs, including an onboard pressure washer, to the right place at the right time, making sure it was properly serviced, getting the customer to training class, securing an on-site expert from the factory, and a host of other little things convinced the owner that he could trust Stafford. All of the above built trust and puts Rick in a great position to sell more to this customer in the future.